It's the game mode that has every bingo player wake up in a cold sweat. Pinball Warrior. Hooah! In this mode, we'll have every player race against the clock on the exact same board to see who can claim as many points as possible. Whoever has the most points at the end of the time limit will be able to claim the title of Pinball Warrior Champion. Whatcha! With ties broken by whoever gets their final score fastest. Though if you think it's that easy, you clearly haven't seen pinball before. The Bingo Wizards have crafted a diabolical board designed to test even the most hardened veterans of bingo. In fact, why don't we give them a sneak peek of what we have in store for our players this time? Yo, Ace, break it down for these Rudies.
In this season, the board consists of 5 types of squares, each corresponding to a type of tape soul that can be unlocked and collected. For every tape soul that is picked up, players can mark a corresponding square of their choice. But can bingo players really handle this much freedom?
Buckle up, kiddies. Let's begin another match of Pinball Warrior.
And here we are with another match of pinball with 7th Ace and Kev 360. Immediately going to 2 different areas.
Yeah, this is a relatively standard opening here. Kev into Shibuya, Ace into RDH.
Yeah, I mean, so far it feels like from the matches we've seen in the, order that we have seen and may or may not, reflect the order that you all will have seen at home. It's kind of been 50-50 teams actually, co-oping to begin with versus, teams actively going around and going into different areas.
Yeah. So presumably we'll see Kev do some more thorough cleanup here in the Shibuya areas. Unclear whether Ace is just going for RDH or will be heading deeper into Kogane to figure that out.
I imagine stuff like Air is a freebie, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember if Ace in particular was one of the teams that, noticed the special circumstance of this board. Because really that's...
How long have you been waiting to call it that?
0 seconds. I just came up with that on the fly.
Wow. Genius.
But yeah, so we've got Ace not unlocking special. Fair play.
Probably just getting these lower RDH souls and not gonna commit to fully climbing just yet.
Which I suppose is fair enough, but my brain's always like, if you're in an area, you got to get those specials. But
yeah,
again, I think we said it before, but the whole point of pinball is, we flashbang a team and spin them around for a minute and say, play bingo. And you've got to make decisions with a very, very short lead time. And Kev going into Churro, which feels like a bad play in the sense of Churro Special is one of the less ideal ones in my mind.
Yeah, Ace going further into sewer is heading into bottom point of the sewer areas to go for. Good call.
I mean, it's double points if you want to do a full commit. If you don't even want to do that, there's a point soul relatively early on with 0.70k. Looks like Ace also setting up for tricks though.
Lots of those good, easy to get early in the level souls.
Meanwhile, Kev doing a good job on that grind combo or tricks. I can't remember which one that is. The one at the Chameleon Machine that has a really cool unlock.
Tricks.
Yeah,
because grind is later.
Yeah, with my bingo Mirage, it's amazing I haven't won a single match this season.
I know.
Right, Ace grabbing that point square.
He's going a little further into bottom point. Oh, Ace full committing to bottom point, actually. So, presumably going to full clear the area.
Yeah, which is interesting, because it's kind of the inverse of what I would expect the optimum pinball play to be, which is very much a nice air unlock though, which is the last air square on the board.
Only putting 2 air squares on this board was so evil of you, also. I don't know if I've said that before.
Just enough
evil.
for people to go, I need to get air squares. not quite enough to let them get a bunch of points for free.
Yeah.
And also
Unkind.
air being the easiest one to just accidentally unlock from instinct.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do a little trolling. So this is a very filled out board. I'm wondering at what point, because I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm getting the feeling that Ace realised partway through this one and kind of commented it to Kev that, hey, all of the diagonals are special souls.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they've got time. They're only 4 minutes 30 in, more or less. And, you know, they've still got, you know, they've only got a handful of non-special squares. So they could really just rush all those and then get any specials they need. And, you know, more or less every special ends up being a bingo. So
Yeah, they're setting up pretty well for that middle column bingo, that middle row bingo. Got a couple others. Unfortunately, most of the bingos that they're working towards kind of on this board will require them to get multiple specials to complete at this point because they don't have any yet.
Ace trying to be fancy in bottom point. I'm just wondering, is it worth the time? Ace doesn't seem to think so, which is good. Seems like a good call. That's the other thing. If you're getting specials, there's always opportunities to get other souls.
Yeah. You're generally committing to spending a decent amount of time in that level and exploring a decent amount of the area, and so you'll have plenty of chances to get other stuff.
Yeah.
Kev going into Dogen, controversial.
Yeah. What was interesting is Kev went to Dogen from the other side and then opted to go the long way around, and I'm thinking maybe IGT that would be a bit faster, but I think with all the time spent in loading screens that may actually be somewhat suboptimal. But I don't actually know. I don't have a stopwatch on me, I've not tested it. Someone get Krabby on the line. Krabby will know.
Yeah. Kev going backwards for the tape, so probably gonna do the unlock sequence and do a full Dogen lap.
Yeah, which is good. I'm just thinking with the remaining squares there's tricks, points, and that's it. So, you know, special is basically the only thing you can acquire.
This is so interesting. They have almost every non-special square filled on this board. Like there are like 4 more squares they can mark that aren't specials.
Yeah, I mean, Ace in particular being an absolute champion last season of Pinball and winning the whole thing, because Ace is just good at kind of immediately going, oh, I know which squares are fast, which ones aren't. But I think with this Pinball being kind of the polar opposite of, you know, you've got all this freedom, figure it out. It does feel like it caught Ace a bit off guard, but is that not what Pinball's all about at the end of the day?
Yeah, no, Ace is good at thinking, which makes them pretty good at pinball.
Definitely.
So Ace going for presumably this team's first special unlock the board.
I mean, Kev's done the sequence.
Like 7.5 minutes in. Oh, Kev has done, gotten one unlocked too.
But quite a few trick squares that they need to mark.
Yeah.
I say need to, you know, would be good to mark them. There's one kind of just there.
So Ace picking up this center square special will be 2 bingos for them.
Yeah. The double bingo, let's go.
Let's go.
And a really satisfying pattern, which I'm hoping gets broken up with more specials.
Yeah, so all of the additional bingos that they can go for will require getting 2 specials, which they're a little bit running out of time to do, but...
Yeah. Well, there's another special, so with, 1.5 minutes, it's got to be enough time to get, one more bingo, surely. With just a special and a points being the only thing between point A and point B. Ace going quite deep, though, and it does make me wonder if Kev and Ace between them have enough time. A first try 13 platforms, like very well optimized, very well executed. I could see that working. Ace going super deep all the way into Highway 0. I just don't think they've got enough time to get the tape and do something with it. Though I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The only one I can
it's going to be
possibly
close.
think is Grind Combo, which, you know, isn't
Not worth
available
anything.
anymore. So Ace is going to be rushing through. Kev is going to be taking an interesting route through 13 platforms. A little unorthodox, but it can still work. Though with 30 seconds left, Kev really needs to hustle.
Uh-oh. I'm glad 13 platforms has been the villain of pinball.
Yeah. I mean, some teams, you know, they get it
It's
first
only
try. Other
appropriate.
teams, they get absolutely frazzled.
Yeah.
And Ace is
No, it's
trying to
only-
rush through the level, but
Oh no.
the
Get a
time
bell.
is nearly over. And Kev's
Kev has
fallen.
Touched the
and
ground.
there is the time.
Alright.
With the 2 bingos and quite a few defaults, very well played from both of them.
Yeah.
And with that, Ace and Kev come in with 20 points with 8 minutes 21 seconds left on the clock. We've only got 2 teams left. Will one of them break that 23-point barrier, or will Yayo and Ryomi stay on top? Find out next time on Jet Set Radio Future Bingo Pinball Warrior.